This is week 2 of creating a real estate-based tech business. We've come up with the brand Rentrolly. Last week we worked on what we're actually building, the journey mapping, registering the business. So what we're moving into is actually working on those website wireframes. I just use Google Sheets. It's seriously easy, not getting into great detail, just using boxes to make sure that we've got the flow right, the interface and the user experience are as expected. We want to make sure that this MVP isn't completely polished. They talk about first impressions, but the reality is this is a really new product in this market, and we don't want to be spending too much time being pixel perfect. We want to make sure that we build something that's plausible, but borderline plausible. There's that common saying is if you're not mortified by your first MVP or your minimum viable product, you've left it too late. So we don't want it to be too scrappy, but we don't want to spend a lot of time on it as well. We want to get something into the market so we can start getting some live data in. Not only are we doing that, Tom and I are working on the web copy, and we're also working on database structuring. Not Tom, I'm working on that. He's brought me in for the tech and marketing side of things. So when I think about the database, we're going to go to Bubble. We're going to commit to bubble.io, which is a no-code application builder. We're going to start building out the databases, and because of all the work we did prior to this, fleshing out what the user experience requires, i.e. we need a sign-up form, we need to be able to create an account, we need to be able to create listings, we need to be able to message between users anonymously first and then share details. Now that we've got all this fleshed out, we're able to understand what databases do we need. So basically, what information do we need to feed from the centralized database out to the website? What information do we need collected back in? And that will help build out what the database will look like. There's a lot to think about, but the beautiful thing is mapping it all out prior to actually starting the work inside of Bubble. It makes it so much more straightforward. That's week 2. It's been a pretty hectic week in a sense of just heads down on the wireframes, working on the database structuring, getting signed up to Bubble, which is free, and then starting to work on the web copy because it's a new industry to me. We need to make sure that the copy and the wording and the jargon is simplified as much as possible, but also is saying the right thing. That actually took up the whole week. The best thing though, this week cost us $0 because Bubble's free until you launch it live, which I think is just phenomenal. So our total outlay at the end of week 2 remains at $627.